Hey guys, it's Amber here with another video. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I decided to do another video. I'm not sure if you guys heard, but Liam Payne of the band One Direction unfortunately passed away. He struggled with substance abuse and I believe took his own life this past week or the week before last. I don't remember the exact date, but I saw this really interesting article and I wanted to talk about it. I also wanted to pick your guys' brains, hear your thoughts. So feel free to drop a comment down below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it with people, all the things. Also, if you want to cash app your girl, because I will not be working a full-time 9 to 5 anymore. My cash app is Amber P. Ayala, and I'll put it in the video description. I was going to say the job description. See, my mind is still in corporate America. So this article is from The Independent. I have my tablet here. The title is Grief is Complex, but why did so many people target Liam Payne's ex after his death? And I thought this was really interesting because we tend to target the women when we need to look at the men. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but she did not, cause him to take the substances. And this is a very sensitive subject, and maybe I hope I'm saying this correctly and appropriately. I don't want to blame the victim. I don't want to blame somebody who struggled with a very real issue and a very complex issue. Also, he's passed, so I'm trying to be sensitive about that. But this was interesting. So here's a paragraph I'm going to read really quick. There's two of them actually that I want to read. So it says, the vitriol directed at Henry, which is his ex-girlfriend, has been egregious. She and Payne were first linked in 2018, shortly after he split from Cheryl Tweedy, with whom he has had a now 7-year-old son, Bear. The pair got engaged in 2020, but split the following year before reconciling briefly and later breaking up for good in May 2022. 2 years later, at which point Payne was in a relationship with influencer Kate Cassidy, Henry released a novel called Looking Forward about a relationship between a young woman and a former boy band star, Oliver, who had addiction and mental health issues, and which was inspired by true events, which fans immediately took to mean it was about Payne. Eerily, at one point, Oliver threatens to jump off a balcony. Payne never publicly acknowledged Henry's novel, but that hasn't stopped fans from weaponizing it against her in the wake of his death, using it as further evidence that she is to blame and accusing her of being obsessed with the musician. Now here's the follow-up paragraph. Henry's side of the story, however, reveals a more complicated truth. In the weeks before his death, she had allegedly issued a cease and desist against Payne, claiming that he was repeatedly contacting her, as well as her friends and family. In an 8-minute video posted on TikTok, Jesus, I cannot read today. She claimed, ever since we broke up, he messages me. It's always from different phone numbers too, so I never know where it's gonna come from. While in a recent episode of the Internet is Dead podcast, posted before Payne's death, Henry disclosed that during the relationship, she felt the singer used threats of unaliving himself as a manipulation tactic. He would always message me ever since we broke up saying, oh, I'm not well, she claimed. He would always play with death and be like, well, I'm gonna DIE, I'm not doing well. And they kind of asked some really good questions about Maya Henry and Liam Payne. They're like, who was helping her? Who was helping him? How long was this going on for? And, what kind of psychological and emotional damage, was caused, between the time of them getting together. I think there was a picture of them here, but it's kind of blurry. But yeah, I looked at a picture of her. She's freaking stunning. And I wanted to talk about that briefly because I feel like it's unfair to put the blame on the women. This person had an illness, and unfortunately the illness consumed them. And I think that it must be very conflicting for her to see that the person who hurt her the most, that she was, once in love with or loved, is gone. I think that we need to treat people better when these type of situations happen. And I think we often idolize people and don't realize that they can be a different person behind closed doors. We think that they're this perfect, saintly, talented, we almost treat them like gods, and they're people. And this kind of reminds me of when Ariana Grande caught all that backlash when Mac Miller passed away. Unfortunately, in the same scenario, Mac Miller had an issue with drug addiction and he was open about it. And I remember thinking, it is not her responsibility for him to get clean. And I don't say that in a disrespectful way. I think that is really tragic that Mac Miller's not here. He's helped influence a lot of artists, put them on, and has created some really great projects. I'm not a super duper huge fan, but I recognize that some of my favorite artists, they wouldn't be here without him, and he gave them like a place to crash. He helped them, you know, musically. He helped put them in rooms and helped put them on financially. Some of these guys would have never been taken off or been discovered if it hadn't been for him. So I totally respect that. And my heart goes out to her. I don't know her. I'm not a One Directioner. I only know the one song, the one or two songs. Like, I wasn't like into the boy bands or anything like that. I'm more of like an R&B girly, so that's kind of, you know, that. But let me put my tablet down. But I think that we need to treat her with grace. We need to give her time to grieve. We need to give her time to process everything, because she was still being harassed by him. She was still being manipulated by him, unfortunately. And I don't like speaking ill or nasty of someone, but based off what she said, you know, that it wasn't so easy to sever that bond or that tie. And I think that we need to examine the actions of men and hold them more accountable. And I think that it's really unfortunate what happened to him, because he has a child, and that child is going to grow up without their father around. And he seemed so young. He seemed really loved. He seemed like he brought people a lot of happiness. So it's like conflicting. It's like, what did he go through that he felt like he had to pick up this drug and that he couldn't stop? Like, you kind of wonder on both sides, how did it go? And it is very scary being in an abusive relationship. I've never dealt with anything like that to that extent, but I've had guys in the past, honestly, prior to me meeting my husband, use unaliving themselves as a tactic to keep me around. I had this one guy, I think it was back in like 2015, 2016. I met him through some mutual like artistic, like creative friends. Like, we ran in the same circles, and I met him and I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. Dumb. And thought he was like the bee's knees, but he had like this Jekyll and Hyde thing. Like, I opened up to my therapist about, he's like, I think he has like a personality disorder, or like, it was very like a switch. Like, one day he could be like Kanye, like, I'm the boom shit shebang, and then the next day, oh my God, no one loves me, and like using that emotional or like his past trauma as like a way like to feel sorry for you to feel sorry for him, to kind of bend to his will. And it was like off and on. This man used to scream at me. He used to cuss me out. He used to leave me like the craziest voicemails. It got so bad, like I would start turning my phone off, because he was just so crazy. Like, and I don't like to call someone crazy, but he was not well. Like, there was something severely wrong. And the crazy part was, he was so talented, and everyone was like, oh, well, he didn't act like that with me. Because I try to tell like some of our friends about it. I was like, I think there's something there. Like, I think there's something wrong. And I remember even when we broke up, I was still in contact with him because I felt guilty. The first time I tried to leave, he threatened to unalive himself, and then had his dad call me and like try to smooth things over. And I was like, bro, I'm not interested. Like, me, I'm the type of person, like, when I'm in a relationship with somebody and they do some crazy wild stuff, I'm like, I'm out. Peace out, Girl Scout. If it costs me my peace, it's too expensive. And I don't really want to deal with that. And I'm very like, I'm not gonna beg. I'm not like, go, you could go. Like, I don't care. Like, and that's something I need to work on, like showing people in my life that I do care more. Like, I think I do, but like in terms of romantic relationships and like with men, like I'm not chasing you. I'm not begging. Like, I'll find somebody else. Like, my husband is the exception to the rule, obviously, but he was kind of similar in that aspect. And I swear, like, I thought he was going to hit me. Like, I thought he was going to beat me up one day, because one day we like went to the library. We were doing like kind of like a networking meeting. Like, there were some other creatives, and we were all like kind of brainstorming and figuring out what we wanted to do next. We had a mutual friend group. They were going to open like a business, like an art agency. So we were all meeting to kind of figure out like the meeting of the minds type of thing. And I remember I was just being friendly and bubbly. I'm like a super outgoing person. And I remember he like got so mad, because I think he thought I was flirting with someone. And I swear he was like going to punch me in my face, like TMI, overshare. But he was like, it was like this darkness came over his face, and he just changed. And I remember trying to explain that to like some of our friends, like once we broke up, and they did not like believe me. They didn't back me. And like, he like mentally got in my mind. Like, he made me feel so like isolated, and like I wasn't shit, basically. So I kind of empathize with this young lady. I'm like, I can't imagine like her. I don't know if that ex that I dealt with had any addiction issues or anything like that. I'm not super sure. It's not really my problem anymore. I'm not super, I wish him well, but I just, like, I can't imagine all that energy coming to you and you didn't even ask for it. And she's probably trying to move on. She's probably still in the thick of it. Like, those type of relationships can really make or break a person, especially a woman, because We are healers, we are givers, and we think we can fix. We can't. Men are not projects. They have to either do the work or they're going to continue to stay the same. And I hope that his spirit is truly at rest, and I hope that it's made peace with his inner demons, because I can't imagine being that young and being that famous. I think even in the article I read that they would lock, because One Direction became so big and massive, that they would like lock the guys in the room, like a hotel room or like some type of room. And I'm like, they were just trapped. And I think it said that he started using substances and stuff then, but they wouldn't even put them in the same room. I think it said something like they would put them in separate rooms. And I can't imagine how isolating that is. You have all this money, all this access to women, drugs, alcohol, anything you can imagine, any experience you want, and you blow up and you're not thinking like that's going to be your reality. And then it is like, I can't imagine what he probably went through, because he probably went through some stuff, not excusing it at all, but I'm trying to think of both parties. And I just think it's interesting we immediately attack the woman, because I just don't fuck with that. I think we need to think more logically and give people their space, give people time, like to go take time out of your day to go attack this woman you don't even know. You don't even know what she's went through. What if she has like severe PTSD, anxiety? What if she doesn't, like, has like agoraphobia or something? Like, I'm laughing, but it's not funny. But you just never know what someone's going through, and we just need to be nicer to people. Just be kinder. Like, literally, kindness is free. Start practicing it. Like, I try to be nice to everyone, because you don't know what they're carrying. Just smile to someone, say hello, wave, give them a hug. Like, you just really don't know. Your energy, just being kind to someone, that can really change the course of their day. And my prayers go out to his son, his child's mother, his family, his friends, his fans, but his spirit, because obviously it was disturbed on some level. But also my heart goes out to Maya. I don't know you, but I see you, because I could have been you, and I hope that you're genuinely okay and someone does something nice for you, and that some type of light or healing or peace comes to you. I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next video. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Take care. Bye.